In the last video, we focused on hands-on API hacking with no extra talk, just actions. And your feedback actually was really amazing, especially those part 2 comments, and here we are with part 2. Today we will dig deeper into API reverse engineering, vulnerability testing, and exploring real weaknesses. So, this is AmrSec, Google Air Cafe, and let's dive in. First, let's start with reverse engineering API. Reverse engineering an undocumented API requires building a collection of requests for that specific API. In this video, I'll be showing you 2 methods to do this. So, first, what are we going to do is we're going to use Postman to build our connection of requests for that specific API. And today we are going to use Krabby Lab to do everything on it. Okay? So first, what we have to do is to fire up our virtual machine. And I have already showed you how you can set up your virtual machine, install all the tools you need for API hacking in the previous video. So if you watched the last video, you will have Kali Linux installed with all the tools you need. So right now we're going to log in with our default credentials for Kali. And right now, first thing we will do is running our Krabby Lab. And I think it was in OPT lab Krabby. Let me zoom for you a little bit like that. And here, let me go as a root. Kali docker compose up -d and give it just a couple of seconds and it will run with you without any problem. So here, let me go open my browser and try to access it. 127. Okay, it's not. Okay, it's not up yet. And right now, as you can see, it's finished. And if I just try again right here, as you can see, we have Krabby is running without any problem. So right now, this application, we need to test its API. And at the same time, this application API don't have any documentation, and that's what we actually doing. We will build a documentation for it so we can start testing it without any problem. So right now, simply, we're going to back right here and clear our screen and run Postman like that. And right now we have Postman up and running. So first thing that we will do is we're going to create a new workspace, and let me call it, let's say, Krabby. And we will create it. And as you can see right here, we want it blank. And only me, okay, let me give it a name. Krabby. Create. And right now we have our Krabby, and simply we're going to collect the API endpoint requests using the Postman proxy. And to do this, first we will have to create a collection, and let me call this Postman proxy, or let me make it Krabby proxy, and enter. And as you can see right here, we have a collection called Krabby proxy. And right now what we have to do is click at the really bottom, capture requests, and this will give us this tab. And what we have to do is to make sure that enable proxy is on and it's running on the port 5555, the port that we added it to the Foxy proxy in the previous video. And if you don't have the certificate installed, you can just follow this documentation and it will tell you how you can install it in your virtual machine. Okay, so right here I will click enable proxy and save responses. You can here choose a specific collection, but hold on, we need to filter the requests first and organize by, okay, no problem, just start capturing. And let me pause it right now. Okay, right here we will have to make sure that we have only this running right here. We can filter it from Postman, but just let this only works right here. And we will run our Foxy proxy on the Postman proxy. And right here, we're going to resume the back. And right here, we will have to do everything that could be related to API. For example, sign up will call an API endpoint that will take a specific data and give me back a specific data. So this is an API endpoint. Logging in, changing the profile picture, everything that we can do, we will do it right now. We'll start by creating a new account and let me call it AmrSec and let me make it test1@email.com. And for the phone number, just any random phone number. And for the password, let me write, for example, password. And I want you to have a look right here. As you can see, the password have specific rules that have to be at the password you're adding. For example, it's telling you it's have to be minimum 8 characters and maximum 16 characters. And it have to have a special character. So we can make it something like password @123. And I think this passes the rules. Let me re-enter it again and sign up. And as you can see right here, we have a new account registered. And let me go back for Postman to make sure it's capturing. As you can see right here, we have the request that we made. But let me back right here and continue. What are we going to do? Here we have to log in using this email. Once we logged in, let me click here to send the vehicle information. Okay, and I think the email server at the port, I'm not sure actually, 025. Yep, okay, welcome to Krabby. And as you can see right here, we have our vehicle information, the VIN and the PIN code. So here is the VIN, and let me get the PIN code and verify. And as you can see, save successfully. So I will be doing everything I can do and I'll be back again, okay? Okay, so right now I actually have tried everything I can do. For example, I added my vehicle, I contacted the mechanic, and I have go to shop. I have ordered some wheels and I have return orders. I have tried to add coupon, and in the community I have added a new post and I have added my comment on previous posts. And in my profile, I actually tried to change my email and change my profile picture. So right now I'll be back right here, and as you can see, we have a bunch of requests. That's actually what we need, okay? So right now what I'm going to do is simply stop this. And as you can see right now, we have 47 GET requests and 13 POST requests. We're going to come right here and choose the requests that we will need so we can add them to our collection. So let me choose them, select all of them right now, and unselect what I don't need. And for these, let me add them to the collection. We have Krabby proxy. Okay, do both. I don't know what is that actually, but okay, right now we still have some requests. Let me show 50 and go to the second page, and let me get all. They all are endpoints, so let me add them to the collection. And let me close this tab and close this tab too. Right now, as you can see, we have all the API endpoints that already in this application. And right now what we're going to do is simply format them. For example, right here we have something like identity and workshop and community and other endpoints that are not on a specific directory or something. So let me create a new folder right here and let me call it identity, like that. And let me select with control all the requests that have identity on it, like this. And this one too. This one, and this and this. and then I will take them all and put them in identity. Okay, and I will close it right now. I don't need it, and I will create a new folder. I will call it workshop, and I will do the same with the workshop requests. Exactly like that. I will add them all in workshop, and let me close it, and we have identity request here. I will add it to the identity, and these are all community. So let me create one last folder, or I can just rename this. Let me rename it, call it community, and I will get this one and this. All these are already in the community. So let me take this one here and let me close it. And one last thing that we will do, we will create a folder right here. For example, as you can see, we have something that already in identity API directly without any version of that API. But at the same time, we have other endpoints that have a version. So we will create a folder within the identity folder, and we will call it v2, and we will get all the v2 API endpoints for the identity, and we will put them there at that folder like this. And right now, if we close v2, all of these are only no versioning requests, and these the versioned requests of that API. Okay, and for the workshop there is no version requests, so it will be like that. Right now we have a clear thing that we can work on. This is how you can reverse engineer an API with Postman. We have all the requests that's already in that API application, and we can just try to do whatever we can. We can play with them right now. We can use Pursuit to intercept the requests right here, and we can play with it on Pursuit. But forget about it. I will not do anything right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the second method of reverse engineering API for the undocumented APIs. Okay, so let me minimize these, and I'll open a new tab right here. And with the second method, we're going to use man in the middle web. It's literally man in the middle web, like some guy sitting in the middle. You are here and the web right here, and it's capturing all the requests you are making. To start using it, what we're going to do is simply type mitm web, and I have already installed it in my previous video, and just hit enter. And let me see what we have. It will open for you this window in your browser. As you can see right here, it's listening on port 8080, as same as Pursuit. And right here you can see the options and all, but what are we going to do is simply nothing. We will just close this and back right here, and we will log out. And simply what we have to do is just run our Foxy proxy on that port, and once we refresh that, we can see our requests goes right here. So right here we're going to do the same that's what I did. We're going to use every endpoint that we can use in that application. Okay, so I have already did the same. Maybe the only difference right here that I will just log out like that. I have already tried to get the OTP, and I did exactly the same. So I have right here some really nice requests. So to convert them to a documentation we can use for that API, what we're going to do is simply hit file, save, and this will save them as file called flows. Okay, so let me come right here and stop the interception, open a new terminal, and let me go to downloads ls. As you can see, we have flows right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use man in the middle proxy to Swagger, and this was gonna convert this file to a Swagger file or documentation that we can use. So we'll do that by writing sudo mitm proxy to Swagger -i, and we're going to specify our flows like that, and we're going to write tag o That means the output will be at the file called sbc.yaml. This is our output file, and we're going to use tag B, and this will be to target that specific URL only. We don't need any other requests. We need the requests that have this specific URL that we will provide, http://127.0.0.1 at 8888-f, and this is actually flow. Just hit enter, write your password, give a couple of seconds. As you can see, it's finished. Right now, as you can see, we cannot see anything, and this is because unfortunately we added that to the root. So let me move it to here, from spec to here. Okay, sorry, MB, and right here we have it. Okay, now you can just use your favorite code editor to edit that file. We're going to use nano. So right here, first it's unwritable, so we will exit and run it again with sudo, like that. And right here, what we're going to do is we're going to simply remove this word from the endpoints that we need. Okay, so right now, after finishing, we just removed the ignore from our endpoints, and the only thing that we kept ignore with is the other files that we don't need, CSS files, PNGs, JavaScript. And let me come right here and Control X, Y, enter. And right now we can use the same command exactly like that if we want to create examples for this file. And if you want, you can just add -- examples like that. And as you can see, it's done. What we have to do right now is render this file. To render it, we're going to use a website called Swagger Editor, and it's at editor.swagger.io, like that. Okay, so right here, as you can see, this is a Swagger editor. What we have to do is import file, and this file at downloads SBC, and right now we can see our endpoints, all of them without any problem, and we can see examples for each. Right here, this is login. Let me go to post. As you can see right here, we have example value, and we have the sign up, the identity, and all the requests that we did. We have them here, formatted and really well documented. Okay, so right here we can just change this to make it Krabby man in the middle proxy, and of course this is the URL. You can just play with the documentation right here, but this is not the main point. The main point that right here we have a well documented API, and other thing that we can do, that we can import this file directly to Postman so we can see it well formatted. Right here we're going to click file, import. Let me select from the files. Okay, import. And as you can see, we have a really nice documentation for that API. Here is before from the Postman proxy, and here is the man in the middle proxy to Swagger. We can stay still, see everything formatted well without having any problem with any endpoint. And of course, if we can just close all of that, and let me see, view documentation, we can see examples for each request. Once we have our API well documented, now we can start playing with the data and do whatever we need. So first, let's start with the data exposure. We'll go through each request and try to find anything that can, give us information about the users, emails, and so on. So right here, so I'll be closing this because it's have a bunch of folders, and let me play with these requests. Right here we have a post request to add a vehicle, and it's told me that it's been already added. This is not interesting. Let me go to the dashboard and try to send a request, and as you can see right here, it's giving me the user ID, the email, and the picture URL, base 64, image, and there is no video, and the video name is null because there is no video, and no credits, and the rule is user. So this is important. Focus with it, and let me go to the change email, and I think it will need a data right here. For the body, the old email is 1, and the new, let me change this to 3 and send. And okay, it sent a token to the email. So let me go to something that could be interesting. Vehicles, let me see. We can only see our vehicle, nothing more about the user picture. Okay, so this needs a data. Let me go to workshop, and this will be for the products, orders, and for this order it needs a parameter for the order so you can know more information about it. And what about going to community? That's where we have to see a bunch of users. For example, here posts, send, and okay, I think this is my posts. There's my nickname, email, vehicle ID, and profile picture. And this is really good for us as a hackers, but this is really bad for the users, because actually this is only post. Because the user have added post, that doesn't mean that we have to add its vehicle ID. So right here, let me go, for example, for this, I think this is the comment of this post, and it's okay. This is actually very dumb. As you can see right here, we have this post. Okay, it's a title when the content is hello world, and first thing that we have data exposure right here. We can see the author of this post and his email and his vehicle ID and his profile picture, and because this user don't have any profile picture, so it's a null right here. And we have the time, it's not important. The other problem that we can see the comments, and this actually is not the problem because we are targeting the comments endpoint, but the problem is that you can see all the data of each user that have added a comment to this post. We can see his email, vehicle ID, and profile picture URL, and so much more. So this is pretty dumb. So right now we can see all the data of the users that have commented to this post, but this post have an ID and we cannot just guess the other IDs. So let me go to posts/recent and let me send that. And okay, so right now we can see all the posts with all of the data of the author, and we can just scroll down and we can see the other posts. And let me go right here at the really bottom and get that post ID. Let's say this one, copy, and let me go to comments and change the post ID from this to this and send. And it looks like the same ID. Maybe let me change it, this one, and I will be here and paste and send, and we can see this post's comment. This is a really simple example of data exposure. We simply collected our endpoint requests and we go through them, and as you can see right now, we closely have most of the users' data right here. We have the emails, we have the IDs, we have the author IDs, we have the vehicle IDs, and so much more. So I think that's pretty much it for the data exposure, because I don't think that there is any other thing right here. Let me send this request. It's given me the posts, but right here it's given it a limit and offset. It's given it a limit 30. So I can just make this limit like 500. I need them all like that and send this request. And because they actually less than 30, the total is 9 posts. That's why we get that. So right here, the main thing that we got from all of this, that right now, if we need any user's email, vehicle ID by itself, we can find it in posts/recent. Let me stop this right here, and we're going to move to other thing. We're going to scan the API by itself. And to do that, we're going to use two methods, and the first method that we're going to use Necto. I'm pretty sure that you're familiar with Necto, but right now I will tell you how you can use it to scan your API. So simply, we're going to write Necto-H, and we're going to specify our target HTTP 127.0.0.1 at the port, a lot of 8s, enter, and as you can see, this is a simple Necto scan. You can see some really nice results like the X content type options and other headers are missing. You can know that there is specific headers right here are missing, so maybe there is no XSS protection or something like that. So let me close this one and run our next method to scan the API, and it's wasp zap. So let me run the proxy. Okay, so it's loading with us. Right here, I'll close this. We're going to use the automated scan, or you can say the scan option in the wasp app, and it will give us all the data or all the information we need for testing that API. So we're going to start with the automated scan. So simply give it the host or the target, and it will try to automate all the process for you, and you don't have to do anything, and it will give you only the result. So let me try it, and I will show you another method right now. Right here, let me add 127.0.0.1, add this port, sorry, like that. And we will use Ajax Spider and just attack it. And as you can see, it's running, and okay, no problem. And right now, if we go right here to the alerts, it will give you the only important things right here. In the Spider, you can see each request it's doing, and in the active scan, you can see the same. For the output, forget about it. What you have to focus on is the alerts. And first thing is telling you that there is metadata exposed, and it's telling you all the details about it, and the risk is high. The DNV information leak. So unfortunately, as you can see right here, you can see the DB name, DB user, and DB password, and the database service by itself, and it's using two databases. I don't know. So let me go to this one. It's telling you the content security policy is not set. This header is missing, and anti-click jacking header is missing too. You can see that there is information for the server leak. Actually, this is not leak because this is a normal robots.txt file. And for the timestamp disclosure, I don't think that this is really important. X content type option, another header that it's missing. And cool, we have information disclosure, and this is in the comments. Let me see what it's talking about. It's talking about the user ID, and that's exactly what we just saw. Okay, and we can see there is a modern web application. I don't think that this is really important. So right here, if we go to the active scan, you can see that it's finished scanning. And if you just take a look right here, you will see it's scanned it, but it's not that really nice scan. You can see that our search when we tried to create the documentation was better than that. That's where manual scan comes in. So we're going to click manual explore. Okay, so I'm trying to launch the browser right now, and it's telling me it's not found. How? I don't know. Okay, I don't know how, but what the manual explorer will do actually, that when you just launch the browser, it will give you your target exactly like that. And here you will have some controllers and something like that. And what you have to do is simply explore the application and try to do the same thing that we did with the application when we was trying to collect endpoints. For example, contact the mechanic, go to shop, order something and return it, and do everything you're trying to do. And this, what it's called manual explore, then Zap will do its work. And there is another trick I want to tell you about, that you can use the specifications file .yaml and import it directly to WASP Zap and then start scanning what you want. So right now we're going to start with a new thing, and this will be the classic authentication attacks. We're going to use some of these requests in Burbersuit. We can just configure our proxy right here to make each request goes to Burbersuit first, but I think it's way more simple to use Burbersuit proxy directly. And let me do it. Start burp and go to our Firefox. Let me log out. Okay, so right here we will open our Burbersuit and we will let the interception on, and it's telling me something a little weird. It's telling me no proxy listeners. So what about proxy settings? Okay, so let me try again. Okay, so this is actually because we already running man in the middle web. I have stopped it. Let me try again. Okay, right now it's working. So I think right here we can go to Postman, settings, and go to proxy and make sure we have the port right here and close it and try to send that. Okay, as you can see right here, we just got this request right here. So this is cool. Let me tell you something. We're talking about authentication attacks. So that means we are targeting the login page simply right now. Login or anything that can be related to the authentication. So right here, let me choose the login request. As you can see, we have it right here. And let me see the body. Okay, send. Okay, it goes to burp, right? Okay, we have it right here. So let me just hit Control R to send it to repeater and hit Control I to send it to intruder and stop interception. If I go to repeater right here and send that, because these data are already true, it's giving you 200 okay, and it's giving you back the token that you're going to use to authenticate your account. Okay, if I try to change this password and send it, as you can see, it's telling you invalid credentials. So I want to know if there is a specific number of attempts you can. Okay, as you can see, whenever we send requests, we get only the same response. That means there is no, a maximum number of attempts. So right now we can just simply brute force this email. Let's say that we don't know this password, so maybe we can brute force this email using tools like WFuzz or Burbersuit, but Pro Edition, of course, because actually this is slow as hell. So let me tell you how you can do it with WFuzz, because actually WFuzz is really fast and really cool. So let me open a new terminal right here and zoom for you a little bit. Okay, because of the video time, I have already gave you the command right here. It's simply wfuzz-d, that means -data, and the data will be in JSON. Okay, because actually right here we add in another header that adds that this content type is application/JSON. So that means this data is JSON raw data. So right here we're specifying that the email is called test1@email.com, and it's already our email right here. Okay, and the password is fuzz, so that means put your passwords right here from the word list, and here's the header, and -d, that means the file that we're going to use, and this file is called wordlist.ru.txt, and I think it's not there, so let me ls user share word lists, and rockq.txt. It is still zipped, so let me unzip it. Sudo gzip -d, that means decombine, and we're going to specify the place. Let me go to user share word lists, and here we're going to use sudo gzip -d decompose, and we're going to specify our zipped file and ls. You can see that we have the word list right here. So we're going to back to our wfuzz command, and we have specified our word list. Tag u means the URL that we're going to target, and I will get the URL with the endpoint. Okay, you have to make sure that the endpoint is specified, http://127.0.0.1 at this port / like that, and just hit enter. And right now wfuzz started brute forcing this email with this password, or the passwords that it's already in the rockq.txt file. Of course, we know that this all is a waste of time, because actually right here, if you go to the browser and try to create a new account and try to write any password right here, it will give you a specific rules. So when you have a specific user or specific target that you are targeting, you will have to know more information about the target, like name, the name of the cat, the name of the dog, the birthday date, or anything. But let's forget about that all. At least it's giving you right here a rules. So when you use a specific word list, you can craft a word list for yourself that works or that bases all these rules, and this is what called a password spraying. For example, right here, this password, it's impossible to be the password for any account, because we know that this one is lowercase. Let me try to find right here the 200 state code. Okay, we can't get any 200 state code yet. So right now, as you can see, it's still trying to find the password for that email. But of course, you can use another tag that hides all of that. So you can just leave it and go, and when you're back, you can just only find the password. But we are already here, so we don't have to do that. So let me make this shorter, rather than waiting for the password to come. Let me stop this simply. Let me stop it like that, and cat rockq.txt, and let me grep if this password exists. And we already have it. So you got 200 okay response. Okay, so that's how you can brute force a specific API endpoint. Now let's move to something a little bit advanced, something like the broken object level authentication. And I'll show you right now how we're going to do that. Broken object level authorization is simply you as a user A can see the details of something that's already for the user B, or the opposite. Okay, it is the same. User B can see the data for a specific thing for user C, and that's how it will go. So what we have to look for, something like, let's say in that app we have, let me log in with that, it's wrong, like that, it's true. For example, the vehicle, as you can see, here's the vehicle details, and this is my vehicle details, okay? And here is the vehicle location. But of course, every user will have a vehicle, and every user will have its own post. So let me take a look on the requests and see what we will have. We will look for something that, for example, have an ID. We need to see something in the identity, something that it's a details for the users, and a vehicle. Nope, the dashboard, change email, all of that, it's just normal. The vehicle by itself, it needs a data first, so it will give you this. I think we have sent that data to get the thing, but right here in the vehicle, But right here in the vehicle location, you can see that it's taken a specific ID for this car or vehicle, and /location will give it the location for this car. This is critical, and this is what we need exactly. Let me send this request, and right here we got the card ID. Forgot about that. We have right here the vehicle location, latitude and longitude, the lat and long, and the full name of the owner and the email. This is really important. If you just look here at a moment, you will see that we just got all the data for the users in the posts recent, and all the data including the vehicle ID. This is my ID, so let me just forget about it. And right here, this is my post too. My post, let me get someone's post, like this guy have this vehicle. Let me copy that, and let me go to vehicle location and replace this. And this supposed to give me 403. This, if this app secure, it have to check that me as this user, the owner of that vehicle. But if it's giving me 200 OK, that means broken object level authorization. Let me send that, and okay, I think I did replace it. Right now, send. Okay, as you can see right here, we have the full name of the owner, and we have the email, and the most important, we have the lat and long. And this is way more critical. If this a real platform and it's doing the same, anyone can just simply know the location of any car. This is what called broken object level authorization, or BOLA. So now let's move to the next thing that we have, and we have broken function level authorization, or BFLA. So right now, let me back right here and see our requests. And right here, let me go to the orders and see how I can return an order. In the body, there is nothing. It's only taking the order ID. And this is weird, because actually it have to have something the order is already requested for returning. What if I give it the order number 5 and send? Okay, I'm not allowed to do this. Okay, this is cool. Let's go for another thing, like something that I can delete it. Like I can't delete anything right here. So right here, let me upload a video. But before I upload it, I want to make sure that this is listening. It's not. So let me make it listens to burp and upload a video. This video. And okay, video uploaded successfully. Let me make sure it's been uploaded right here. Video. Okay, it's uploaded. So let me change the video name first, and then let me change the video for this video one more time. Okay, and let me back for burp and see what we can do. So as you can see right here, it's using multiple methods for this. For example, let me get this one, send it to the repeater. If you take a look right here, you will see two things that's really interesting. First, this method and the user directory and the API endpoint. Let me first send that. As you can see, it's changing the video name. Send again, it's changed again. So right here, let me back for the target, and let me send this to repeater one more time, like that. And here, we're going to simply send that, and the response is 200. So this changes the video name. But what if we try to make this, rather than put, make it like delete and send? And as you can see, it's giving you 404. That means not found. But it's telling you this is an admin function. Try to access it with the admin API. So that means simply you are using a method that's only admins use. So we are already user. And the problem is it's writing at the endpoint/user. So what if we try to change user to admin and send? And here we go. We just deleted the video. And right now we are an admin, okay? So this is what called broken function level authorization. We have used a function that's only available for the admins, and we used it. That's how BFLA works. So right now, let me tell you about the last thing that we will discuss in this video, and it's about the API versioning. Right here in Postman, we have a really cool feature, and this feature is Collection Runner. And what Collection Runner do is simply, right here we have at this collection a bunch of endpoints, okay? So this simply running all the requests one time. So you will have to have some specific things. For example, a token for authorization, because actually most of these endpoints will give you even 404 or 403 or anything, but it will not give you 200, okay, because actually you are not authorized to access these things. So you will have to add a authorization way to do it, whether it's using a username or password or even a JSON web token or whatever. So why we're doing that? If I go to collection runner and start to run, it will run all these requests. If I use a variable for the version, I will test for version 1, and version 1 maybe will not have any versions, or maybe will have /version 1, and version 2, 3, 4 for the latest version. And I will see the difference between the versions and why it's being changed. And 100% you will find something like the developer forget a specific vulnerability in the old version or something like that. But right here, what we're going to do, we're going to try to brute force the OTP. Why the OTP? Because right here in Postman, let me search right here for OTP. Okay, so right here, as you can see, there is OTP endpoint, and this endpoint is not simply a normal endpoint. It's the only endpoint that it's already in the version 3. And this is really interesting. Why it's in the version 3? Okay, so I think this means that the version 2 had a vulnerability. So let me try it. For example, let me here go and get this email and log out, and I forgot the password. Here is my email, send OTP, and let me write this OTP, and I want the new password to be password at 321, and I will do the same here, and let me set a password. As you can see, it's telling you invalid OTP. So I will back here for the target, and I will send this to the repeater. And I will try to send it multiple times to see if there is a maximum time of attempts. Okay, so let me back right here. Again, you can see it's giving you 503 and it's telling you you have exceeded the number of attempts. That means here right now it's giving you a specific number of attempts for the OTP. So what if we try to change this API endpoint from version 3 to version 2? And try to do the same. Okay, 500. And as you can see right here, we can unfortunately see that there is no number of attempts. So this is really cool, and I will let you know why right now. Because there is no number of attempts right here at this endpoint, what we can do, that we can simply brute force the OTP for any email we need. And this will let us have a full control of any account in this web. So let me tell you something right here in the, let me remove that and go to here to community, posts, recent, the response. Let me get anyone's email, not me. Okay, so we have this email, test@test.com. And of course, because we don't know the password, we can go right here to sign up and log in. Forgot password. We'll add this email and we're going to send OTP. And here we're going to add 123 123 and let me make it password at 123 with 3 S's, and let me set that password. Okay, so as you can see right now, it's giving us invalid OTP. So we're going to use wfuzz to fuzz this OTP, simply because this 6 digits number, like, we're going to have 10,000 attempts, and actually we don't have a maximum number, so we can just try them all. So right here we're going to simply use wfuzz, and this is simply wfuzz-d. that means the data that we're going to use, or the data that we're going to send in the body, and as you can see right here, it will be the same data as here. We have the email and the victim email, the OTP, we're going to put our numbers right here, and the password, the new password, and of course we have to add the header content type application JSON, because the raw data right here is JSON data, and of course -z file. That means the word list that we're going to use is in user share sec lists. If you are not sure what is that, you can simply write here sec lists, and because I have them installed, you can see that it's in the same place, so I don't have any problem with that. Right here, I'll be back here, and as you can see right here, it's right in -u. That means the URL that we're going to target. Okay, I think there is a problem right here. Okay, tag u, that means our target URL is this host at this endpoint, and right here we're using the v2 endpoint, so that's the vulnerable endpoint, or the vulnerable version of this endpoint. Once we just hit enter, as you can see, we get a bunch of 500 requests, exactly the same for the password brute forcing, so we can just use tag hc hide code and just put 500. Only we want to see the 200 state code, and as you can see right here, we have 0141, and let me go to the browser and add this right here. 0141, and just set password. As you can see right here, the password set successfully. That's actually it for today's video. We explored tools like Postman, man-in-the-middle proxy to Swagger, scanned APIs, and tackled vulnerabilities step by step. But there is more to cover, like token tricks and advanced bypass techniques. If you are interested, let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more cybersecurity content. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach me directly using Twitter. Until next time, stay curious and stay secure.